what you said is absolutely right. And what are the three major causes that you would like to specify for the teachers burnout? Or are there any other causes you want to mention here? You can add, apart from three major causes.
Okay, I think the three major causes are: one, overwork; two, high achieving goals that can lead to perfectionism and or workaholism; and three, lack of support, which often leads to overextending oneself, which leads to stress, exhaustion, and physical, mental shutting down or short circuiting, and sometimes even depression. And I think, for other causes that I would like to mention is like with empaths, people like, I'm an empath and a neurodiverse individual. And I know that with me, that I experience sensory overload easily. And my brain can possibly kind of like short circuit. For example, it'll happen during meetings. Like if I've been working mentally, using my brain a lot intensely for a long period, maybe a couple of hours nonstop. If I don't stop, then it's kind of like it short circuits and my brain just kind of stops working and I can't absorb as much information and it gets very difficult. So I have to plan accordingly. I have to make my plans, my work schedule plans, so that I have breaks in there and can recharge and recuperate. Okay. And also, there's also the other thing too, like if you're an empath, you're always wanting to help. You're always wanting to help everyone. Everybody, of course, everybody wants to help everyone, but you have it's a very intense feeling, and this urge to help others. Sometimes if we're not careful, we risk our own needs. We risk, we have to be careful and make sure that we keep our boundaries firm and take care of ourselves first, because we can't help others if we're not taking care of ourselves first, and if we're not strong enough and well enough, to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, very true, very true. There is, that is what we say, that you cannot pour from the empty cup. So you have to take care of yourself first to help others. So you have been working for so many years now, and as a teacher, you mentioned that what are the additional stress and pressure that you had to face. How did you deal with the stress that this particular job causes, or what do you think other teachers who are going through probably do to deal with this?
For me, I have, I've taught for over 25 years and I can't even count. I don't know how long it's been, but all my adult life I've been teaching, and I have had to stop and take breaks periodically through that time. But what I can say is that for me, first is to get grounded. Find a way to shut out the noise and get grounded again, like feeling that calm peace, that contentment with life, that just shut out the noise. And so I had to find ways that helped me personally get grounded, and everybody has their own. It's personal. We each have our own unique path, our own journey, and our own personal touchstones. And that's what I call them, touchstones. It's like it helps me get grounded. So my touchstones are nature, the natural world, outdoors, and animals, art. Art could be like any kind of art, experiencing or creating it. It could be writing. It could be calm, beautiful music. It could be creating music. It could be listening to music. It could be writing. It could be reading a great novel or a beautiful poem. Dance. It could be, visual arts, moving arts. And then another touchstone is experiencing, just being around young children and experiencing that the beauty of their natural curiosity and that innocence that they have with the natural world around them, the joy in their life. That's a good one for me too. I love being around my grandchildren and young students.
Yeah.
There are other things I do too. Like sometimes, like if I just want to rest my brain, but I'm not tired, I need to do work, then just laborious type work. Like it can be washing the dishes, or it could be feeding the animals outside, just, washing the car, just maybe doing some gardening outside, just anything laborious, cleaning the house, something that doesn't require a lot of thought, but keeps my body moving is a good one for me too. And then I just make a conscious decision to slow down, to slow down my activities, to start reducing things, look at my priorities and start reducing things, and then just simplify everything. Simple is better.
Yeah. And I think now I somewhere feel that I'm talking to myself, so many replica of thoughts, and I'm completely dependent on almost everything whatever you have told so far, uh, to keep myself occupied and be happy and take a break, all that. And yeah, so any other thoughts to add?
Oh yes, I mean, um the what's really important for me in my life is, and has been for many, many years since I was a young adult, is meditation and practicing meditation, visual imaging, deep breathing, mindfulness. I've been doing that since I was in my 20s, and it's very important to me. So that's another way, to keep balance and keep grounded. But there are other things that you can do to find, to help with all that. Like I use a vision board. Like I organize everything on a vision board, for like personal projects, work related projects, things like that.
Mhm.
Know our limitations, and then set boundaries for myself as far as how much I can do and what I can't do, and then set boundaries with others. And the hard part is holding firm, but that's what we have to do, So like, for example, setting boundaries with others, like at work, ask for help. Like let them know your limitations and what's happening, what you need. You could ask for a reduction in work hours, or maybe your workload, maybe ask for help, like somebody to help share the load, to get some of the workload off of you. And you could ask to work remotely for a while, or maybe do a hybrid solution. These are things that have worked well for me in the past, at work, with, setting boundaries and asking for help.
Yes, very true. I think most of us are hesitant to ask for help. We think it is, somewhere hurts our ego, or that we don't want to compromise on the standards that we set. But um, I think there is no bad in asking for help when something is overburdened, and probably one. small move of asking for help can prevent many major issues in future. So what you said is absolutely right, that asking help and setting boundaries are really really important to keep mental health intact. And
Pooja, what I would like to say about that too is an important point that you just brought up is that we do need to it's the importance of having a safe place, a safe space at work where you can talk, where you can ask for help, where you feel like you can trust them enough that you can be vulnerable with them and you can let them know that you need help, that you're overloaded. If you don't feel like you're in a safe space like that and you don't feel like you can ask for help, it does pose a problem. And so then you do have to find ways to do it in those other ways that I mentioned. But this is another reason why it's important for people in leadership at work to recognize that people walk around every day with invisible things on the inside that that affect us at work, and we have burdens, and we're all human, and it should be okay for all of us to say, hey, this is a heavy load. Can you help? I need a little help here. It should be okay. And hopefully the education systems are evolving and changing and moving in that direction.